Okay, here we are, week 14. I would probably say this might be possibly one of the tougher weeks you've faced. And a lot of that will have to do with really kind of pushing the bike forward a little bit. Now, we have two structured bike workouts with an hour on Thursday, So we're going up not only in volume, but kind of maybe a little bit in effort here. We're going to kind of push the envelope. Hopefully along the way you've been kind of spinning a little faster here and there just to get the legs in different kind of cadence and turnover. But anyway, so we're going to start on Monday, basically a repeat of last week, swim run. That's kind of what Mondays become. And then on Tuesday, all right, so we're going to do this as one of our favorite workouts, and it's all about strength. It's all about building the muscle chains in your legs through your hips and your glutes and your quads and your calves and the whole 9 yards and the hamstrings. Basically, so what this is going to look like is, now this might be a bit of a stretch for you. So take it with a grain of salt. So we call it 24 minutes of big gear. Basically, we want you to warm up for, say, 20 minutes, nice and easy, and then 15, 20 minutes, and then add 24 minutes of big gear work. And what big gear work is more or less, it's just going to the biggest, so the biggest gear you can push at 50 cadence. All right? Does that make sense? Hopefully. So you're going to be going super slow, but you're going to be pushing a bigger, harder gear on this is all trainer or I guess spin bike or whatever you're using. If you're outside, basically what I want you to do is go ride up hills. 6 hills for 3 to 4 minutes a hill. That's basically what this is. So you put it in the biggest gear, which simulates hill climbing because you're going slow and you're kind of grinding. If you're actually going up hills outside, you're going to want it in an easy gear because you're climbing up hills. Does that make sense? So we're basically simulating big gear work is simulating hill climbing, but on the trainer. So if you're riding outside, just go ride up a bunch of hills, nice and slow and under control. That's sort of what this big gear workout means. And if you can't make 4-minute intervals, just do 3 or whatever. Just kind of start pushing your, simulating the hills and being stronger, under control, strong and under control. And this is like, we call this a zone 3 effort because you should be breathing kind of hard. It should, climbing hills is not easy for most people. And we want it to feel a little bit harder. All right. So that's what you're doing Tuesday. Wednesday, you do a little run, a little bit more of a swim, a 30-minute swim here, I see. Hopefully you've been up in the 25-minute range, 30-minute range. No big deal, right? Just take your time. Don't crush yourself. Spin for an hour easy on Thursday, just a recovery spin. But, we're just getting you used to being on the bike a little bit longer and more consistent. Actually added 30 minutes of total bike time this week, which is no small change. We got a run on Friday again. We're going 4 days of running. Hopefully you're holding up good. Hopefully if you stuck with that early 8 weeks and built up the right way, you should be doing all right. Just keep it nice and easy. This is nothing crazy. We're still running easy. Not much speed work here. We're going to get the speed work on the bike tomorrow, right? We got another swim on Friday with it as well. So we got 3 days this week of swim and run. Trying to keep that at roughly an hour of total time, just to not stretch you too far. And then Saturday, what we're looking at is we're going to push you a little bit on the top end of your speed, right? So I want you to warm up for 20 and then do 15 seconds of all out. Now, take that with a grain of salt. Just go hard, you know. And if it hurts or if something doesn't feel right, don't push it. But just, you know, this is a great example of how I could see you doing a little negative split approach. You have 15 of those 30-second all-outs. Maybe, you know, go a little bit faster on the first one, a little bit more, just build up, and then maybe towards the end you'll be nice and warm and ready to go. And the goal is to not be absolute, you know, you're going to be tired maybe by the end, but, you know, grow under control. That's all I got to say. And so you got 15 times 30-second fast or all out, and then you recover, and then you shift down into an easy gear and just spin it. Or you can keep it in the same gear, but just go high cadence. There's all kinds of ways you can play, but just, you know, get used to your shifting, learn the whole idea of cycling. The best cyclists are experts at finding the right gear in the right situation and the right cadence. So this is all like learning for you. So just experiment with it, see what feels best. You know, if you're working with watts, you know, maybe you can get a better idea that way. You don't have to. I rarely, if ever, use watts. I just kind of push it and see if I can, you know, push a little bit of bigger gear with the same cadence here and there, whatever. And then you cool down to make an hour. And Sunday, I never want to say don't take your little walk breaks, but Sunday we've taken the walk restriction away. So do what you can to set yourself up for a 35-minute solid run. You know, that can be super easy. It should be super easy in the beginning, and over the course of time, maybe you get stronger and stronger. That's how you want to finish. All right, that is week 14. We'll see you next week for week 15, which will be fairly similar, but we're going to, you know, increase the duration of the bike and the efforts and the run a little bit. So be ready.